Pregnancy. Does that word scare you? This word holds a lot of fear for some of us, and not without reason. Pregnancy is scary, especially if you're doing it alone. You're not alone though. Comment below what scares you the most about pregnancy. We are going to face those fears with you. Today we're going to confront 3 big pregnancy fears and deal with them head on. We'll talk about what's the truth and what the science says about them. The more we know, the less scary it is. So here are 3 fears that we're going to break down today. Number 1, fear of childbirth, of the pain, or even being embarrassed. 2, fear for your baby. Will you miscarry? And 3, fear of what happens after the baby is born. Will you connect with your baby? Don't worry, I'm going to tell you so you know all about what we know about this. So, fear of childbirth. If you're scared of giving birth, you're not alone. This is an actual thing. It's called tocophobia, and about 14% of women have this. It affects women who have given birth and women who have not given birth yet. So if you think you're alone in this fear, you're not. Here's what you should know. About 4 million women give birth every year in the US. And of those 4 million women, around 700 women do die during childbirth. That's why we're afraid. But here's what we're missing. This means about 3,999,930 women survive giving birth every year. Women have been giving birth for as long as humans have existed. Every year, medical science advances and we find more ways to help women through this process. In fact, now there's a whole profession dedicated just to helping women emotionally throughout childbirth. They're called birthing doulas. Roughly 99% of women give birth in a hospital. That's 3,960,000 births in a hospital every year. Medical professionals see so many women giving birth. If you are embarrassed about them seeing you give birth, here's the truth. They actually don't care. And here's what I mean by that. All of the stuff that seems icky, embarrassing, or gross about childbirth is just a part of their everyday life. Your birth will not be a shock to them. And when it comes to family members and partners, you can simply have a no standing below the waist policy. If you've hired a doula, they will enforce this for you. Now 2, fear for your baby. Miscarrying is a common fear because we know it does happen. How can you prevent this? Well, the science behind miscarriages says that not all of them can be prevented. But here's what you can do. You can take 400 micrograms of folic acid per day. You can see a doctor and get regular prenatal care. You can avoid harmful substances like drugs, cigarettes, or alcohol, and discuss all your medications and diet with your doctor. Prevent infections and avoid overheating. And don't let your fever or diabetes get out of control. All of these things can be found on the CDC website as tips to help prevent birth defects and stillbirths. Now number 3, what about after the baby is born? Will you bond? The thing about bonding is it doesn't always happen right away, but it does happen. It's okay if it takes a week for you to feel fully connected. It's okay if it takes longer. There's nothing wrong with that. Some parents describe their first few weeks after birth as bizarre and feeling more like caretakers. They began to connect with their child later. That's okay. You can connect on your own timetable. It will still be just as beautiful. Comment below if you have any additional concerns. Let's talk about them. You don't have to do this alone.